Hello, I just feel like rambling. Recently, I'm really struggling, and when I'm struggling, I tend to look for ways to escape. And for the past 2 years, my way of escaping has been this cartoon called The Cramp Twins, which you will see in many of my videos. I guess I just want to talk about it because I've never really been able to verbalize it with anyone, like why I'm obsessed with this cartoon. But basically, oh my god, the way I'm already freezing. In 2023, January, I went through something very traumatic. I was in an abusive relationship, and I think January was like the climax of it all. And either a few days, I think a few days before this event happened, I was watching a cartoon called The Cramp Twins. Just out of curiosity, I just came across a video that was a review, I guess. And it was a cartoon I always kind of had, not always, it was a cartoon I once had interest in. Um, when I was 13, I was looking for another cartoon, which I already forgot the name of, funnily enough. But I was looking for this other cartoon. So I was browsing through Wikipedia on all the shows that have ever aired on Cartoon Network, and I came across the Cramp Twins, and I gave it a watch, and I was like, this cartoon looks interesting. Especially the character Wayne. Like, as a kid, I just remember thinking, oh my god, I love his design. He looks so cool. And it's so funny because I rewatched the show many years later, like I think over 10 years later. I watched the show at like age, I think I was 23. So yeah, like 10 years later, I actually watched the show. I'm like, Wayne, of course, is my favorite still. I'm like, I'm going back in circles, but like I said, when I first found out about that show, like when I was like 13 or whatever, I gave the intro a watch, and I remember just thinking to myself, I don't think I'll like this cartoon. It doesn't really seem me like it's like my cup of tea, but despite liking the art style and everything, it's funny because 10 years later, it became like my lifeline, my obsession. Like, oh my God. It was like the only thing keeping me happy for a while. Um, it was like just such a strange cartoon, a very strange cartoon. Oh my God, one of the weirdest cartoons ever, but I love it. That's why I loved it. I love weird cartoons. I love weird characters. I loved how negative it was. Like, you might think negativity in a kids cartoon? I'm like, yeah, that's probably why wasn't a very successful cartoon, but I just loved how strange and pessimistic it was. It made the characters feel more real and like relatable. I'm like, wow, these characters have flaws, big time flaws. Like the main character Lucian, he's like a punching bag and everyone treats him like shit. He was really relatable to me though, because Lucian is like someone who wants to do the right thing. He's a bit pretentious about it, a bit uppity, sure, but he has a big heart and he just wants to do the right thing, and it made me love Lucian. Like, I also see a lot of OCD traits in him. Like, I don't like diagnosing characters with mental illnesses, but he's a character who ruminates heavily on his anxieties. Like, I think his biggest weakness is just how much he overthinks, especially in the last book, Twinsanity. Um, like, I hated season 2 of the show, but like, he has such like, how do you say? He's just so overly cautious about doing harm to other creatures that like when he had lice, he literally was like, "Oh my god, I can't scratch my head. I'll hurt the poor little lice." I'm just like, I relate to this overthinky, anxious, yet pretentious boy who was also vegan. Like, I was vegan when I was watching this show at first. So I'm like, oh my god, he's just like me. He's like this vegetarian boy who feels like all the adults in his life are stupid, and that's how I felt when I was his like when well, I was gonna say his age. I meant like that's how I felt in high school. Like, I had a conservative family, and I feel like I was always arguing with them like about their stupid ass opinions. Looking back, it was such a waste of time, but That's kind of the way Lucian is. Like he's arguing, but he's never really heard. He's always just like stamped out by his family. Then there's Wayne, who I also find relatable, who like, cause I'm a very impulsive person. Like I'm really destructive, and oh my god, that is Wayne. Like he doesn't really give second thought to many things. He just like he doesn't think, he just does, and he has like anger issues. I'm like, oh my god, same here. So like Wayne was a really relatable character. He's like really hyperactive. Like he's just always bouncing off the walls. Like Wayne is a really interesting character. He's actually my favorite. He's like my comfort character. Partially, it's just because I really like his design a lot. Like, he's literally periwinkle, which is one of my favorite colors. And he looks kind of like a reptile. Like, he doesn't look human like his brother. He literally looks like some, like, reptilian creature. And also, I don't know, he's voiced by Tom Kenny. Like, how can I not love that? And he's evil. I love evil characters. So I'm like, yeah, obviously he's like my favorite. And he's funny. So yeah, I guess I latched on to this show because I love the characters. I love the shitty parents in the show. Like Dorothy, oh my god, I love Dorothy. A lot of people in and a lot of people, I guess, in the fandom hate her, but I love her. She is just she just constantly lives in fear because like she has like a fear of contamination and grime. And dang, I feel like I'm just rambling. Oh yeah, that's the point of the video. I want to ramble. But yeah, the parents in the show really suck. They kind of remind me of my own parents in some ways. I mean, I love my parents. It's complicated, but I do love them. But they have their shortcomings. I mean, who doesn't, right? And the parents in the Cramp Twins very much remind me of my own parents. Like my dad was a lot like Dorothy, like with the obsessive cleaning, the chemicals, like oh my god, my dad was obsessed with bleach, and Dorothy in this show, oh my gosh, she loves bleach. Like she literally makes her children like dip their hands in a bowl of bleach before they eat in one of the episodes. Like, or she'll make them bathe in bleach and chemicals and all that. I'm like, she's just kind of crazy. My dad was kind of like also a crazy germaphobe. And then we had the dad in the show, who was like a loser, but he's like still weirdly lovable. Maybe because he is such a loser. I don't know. Then there's the antagonist, Wendy Winkle, which, okay, she has a lot of problems. Oh my god, the writers were really creepy. And basically, she's like, you know the Kinker sisters from Ed, Edd and Eddie? She's like them, but on steroids. Just totally creepy, especially in season 2. But despite all that, I freaking love her. Like, I just love villains. Like, she's like a character who does not give a fuck. Like, when she wants something, she's like, I'm gonna have it. So, in a way, she's like this interesting character that like she's kind of like a foil to Wayne because like what Wayne is also like he's kind of like he also has that like when I want something I get it like kind of attitude, but Wendy, her family actually has money and power, so when she wants something she actually gets it like no matter what. And she wants Wayne and he doesn't want her. Unfortunately, this is like a problem in a lot of episodes, but I will not well, you know what? Since I'm oversharing, literally that's another thing that made Cramp Twins so relatable is like the character Wayne went through a lot of things I had to go through, which I don't really feel like saying because I'm like, why would this even be in a kid's show? But I'm like, okay, that literally makes him relatable because I went through the same things. So there's another cartoon called like Courage the Cowardly Dog, and like Courage, there was an episode like where it felt like a metaphor for him being, well, not to say it, but he was like, you know, Courage the Cowardly Dog. It's like there's an episode where there's a metaphor like he was like, I guess assaulted. So I guess yeah, that's what I'm like trying to say. Like these kids cartoons like shouldn't have had that, but I don't know, man. Things were really dark in the early 2000s. So yeah, I was going through something really hard in 2023, and I'm like, I don't know, it's just yet another element. It's still recording, but yeah, I kind of question if it's like even a good idea for me to like post this, but I'm like, you know what? Life is short, and if people want to judge me for like clinging onto a cartoon and overanalyzing it and overthinking it, and then watching it for hours on end, and like making it my whole life, and like being kind of weird about it, I'm like, whatever, you can judge me. I don't really care. I have like I'm not gonna say I have OCD, but like I mentioned, the show had like a lot of weird writing. Like the writing was just really weird and uncomfortable. So nowadays I can't even really watch the episode without really feeling really uncomfortable, which sucks because I just want to watch my favorite cartoon. I can't even watch the safe episodes. Like I had like a list of safe episodes like where there's not weird stuff that like the storyboard artists or writers did. Mostly season 2 was a problem, but I have my safe episodes and I still can't watch them. It doesn't help that I associate the cartoon with me with like I don't know. I associate the cartoon with like the trauma I was trying to push back. Like I was getting so obsessed with this cartoon. It was all I would ever talk about. Like I had an old blog on Tumblr, and literally that blog was literally mostly just me like just talking and yapping about the Cram Twins, like making fan art. Like that's all I would talk about. And to this day, it's like I still think of the cartoon daily. Like this is really cringe to admit, but here's the thing: I have imaginary friends. I don't know if it's like a dissociative disorder, if I'm just like ill in some other way, but I have imaginary friends. And I literally have an imaginary friend from the show. So I mean, yeah, like, and I still talk to that imaginary friend like every day. Like he literally talks to me every day, so that's a whole thing. But yeah, you are on a mentally ill person's YouTube channel. And that was my little ramble about the Crump Twins. Enjoy.